Hey everybody! All right, so this is a video on photographing two-dimensional artwork for contests such as Vase, etc., or anything that you need to upload pictures to. How to take a good photo. All right, so first things first, I've got myself set up here. This is a pretty big artwork, so instead of laying it flat anywhere, I'm just gonna lean it up against something. This setup in particular is meant for like 3D, but any kind of nice neutral background works. You are going to come in and crop your photo, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So don't be too worried about what's in the background. If it's the floor or tabletop, no one really cares. So, all right, so I'm gonna have this set up as close to vertical or as close to totally horizontal as I can. And I'm gonna open up my camera app. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get my camera as close in to the edges of my artwork as possible. If this one had nothing on the mat, I would come in even closer, be in on that little square. Alas, it does have things on the mat, so I'm just gonna get as close as possible. All right, so my particular phone tells me if I'm level. If yours does not, then you just wanna get as close in as you can and click good. Now, one of the things that's important, lighting. So we have a nice bright overhead light, and you'll see that I don't have any shadows being cast on this picture right now. Other places that are very good to take photos with really good light are gonna be on a cloudy, slightly cloudy day outside, not super bright because it tends to cause glare. Or if you are in a place that only has has a couple of lamps nearby, so that you don't have too much directional light. The one exception to this would be if you have an artwork where things are raised off the surface. These are a little bit raised off the surface, but if you have something coming off like a good ½ inch or something like that, you might decide to take a photo with slightly directional light in order to make that pop outwards. Because a photograph doesn't often show that 3D-ness for anything that's coming up in low relief. Relief being, of course, something coming up off of a surface. All right, so again, if this were smaller, another possibility I have of taking a photo would be to lay it flat and to come from above with my camera. In this particular case, my go away message. I don't need to know what you're saying, Discord. I can take a photo directly like that. Note that my camera is flat. The center of my camera is right about center over here and all that good stuff. It's a little bit easier with small pictures to do that, but it's also a little bit harder, especially with overhead lights, to make sure that you don't have any shadows on your artwork. All right, so right here, that was my photo from above. This one, come in, you exist. I know you do. Let's go. Womp womp. There we go. That was the one that I took while it was directly up and down. I can choose either one of those that I think is a better photo. I think I like this one a little bit more. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna edit my photo. So the kind of editing that you wanna do. Try not to find any just single touch things. The first thing we're gonna do is crop it. Whenever we are cropping, we want to bring in the corners of our crop to just inside of where our photo was. That way we can get rid of all of that excess background things. If we have anything coming off of our mat and outside of that box, we need to make sure that we are photographing on something neutral, black, brown, white, or gray. If we have any other colors back there, they are considered a distraction. So if you, so this one fits nicely within its own frame, so we don't need to worry about that. I am going to come in and crop this corner just a smidgy more because it was a little too big. All right, there we go. I'm gonna hit save. Save, yes. So there's that. I'm gonna edit it again. The next kind of editing that I'm gonna do is just making sure that all of the colors on my screen are as true to life as possible. If I need to bump up the saturation or anything like that, so many messages. So if I'm looking right here, I could go over to things like adjust. I can change how bright it is, how dark it is, etc. So maybe I think it's a little too bright. I can come down here and turn down the brightness. I could bump up the contrast if that needed to happen. And all of that. Usually brightness and contrast are the most that you're gonna wanna change. Sometimes you might change your saturation, warmth, tint all over here. The anything that has a slider scale like this of any kind is generally going to be the sort of thing that you want to use. If you have any kind of if you have any kind of one shot, it immediately changes, like this one that says enhance. They're generally not the best to use because they're not always true to life. You want it to look as close to real life as possible. So if they're close, then you're good. You want to save that image, and that's the one that you're going to want to upload. All right, so that's how you take a 2D artwork picture. Good luck. Hey everybody, I almost forgot. So say, for example, that the photo that you have made, either in your collage or like you've just finished editing, you've cropped it all, it's like the perfect photo now. And you try and upload it, but it doesn't fit, it's too big. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring up your photo on your phone. Sure. Here's my photo, say, pretend this is one of the nice ones, guys. Once it's on my phone, all I need to do is screenshot. Now, my phone is really particular about screenshots, but if you have something where you can just swipe or click 2 buttons at the same time and get a screenshot, that is perfect. That screenshot is going to be a smaller size than your original. You might need to crop out some of the excess again, but that's fine. But that will probably put it back in the size that it needs to be. All you gotta do is make sure you're uploading your screenshot, not the original. And that's what you need to do. Okey-doke, bye.